This is the sewing tutorial of this plunging or deep V neckline corset. The drafting tutorial is already up on the channel. You can go ahead and watch that one before this one for better understanding. Hello everyone, you're all welcome back to the channel. A big thank you to all our subscribers, and if this is your first time of being here, please do subscribe, like, turn on your post notification bell so you get notified whenever I post a new video. So in today's tutorial, we're going to be sewing this plunging corset. We already did the drafting, so I went ahead using the pattern we drafted in the other video to cut out on my fabric. This is the side front. I cut out like 4 pieces of this on my doll face satin. Two of the pieces is going to be used as a base for our lace, while the other 2 pieces is going to be used as a lining. So 2 sets is going to be used as a base for this lace. And I also went ahead to add my stitching allowance, my sewing allowance at that point at the cup side, and also at the dart side, and also at the necklines, at the neckline of the pattern. I added my sewing allowance, and this is our center front. I also went ahead to place my pattern paper on the fabric, and I cut out the center front on fold. Please make sure you put your fabric on fold before cutting out the center front. I also added my stitching allowance to the cup side, to the that side, and also to the other side where we're going to be adding our mesh, our illusion mesh. So this is how it looks when it's opened. Also, I went ahead to cut out our mesh using that pattern. I placed the mesh on fold. Is on fold, and I don't know if you can see it very well, but I put it on fold from the neckline, so that there's no need for stitching. That side is already on fold. From the top side, yes, from the top side there is already on fold before I cut it out. And I also added stitching allowance to the sides, to the left side, to the right side of the mesh. And for the center front, I cut out 2 pieces as well, as you can see. And I also use an interfacing on all the satin fabric to give it some form of durability. So this is our back pattern. I've gone ahead to place our lace on the doll face satin already. So this is the part for the lining. And I'm also attaching a Modesty panel to this corset. So what I did, I went ahead to cut out one side of the back lining, and for the other side I took the pattern paper and I divided it into 2. At the dart side, I cut it into 2 before placing it on my doll face satin and cutting it out. So while cutting it out, I added half inch sewing allowance. This is to give that part of the lining enough space for stitching the Modesty panel to it. The Modesty panel is just going to help to cover the back to prevent exposing the skin. So after dividing the dart point of that back pattern into 2, I added sewing allowance. So this is what we are using for our Modesty panel on fold. is 9 inches in width, and while the length is 10 inches. We are also going to stitch the two top sides of this panel. So at the end, we're going to have like 9 inches after taking half an inch at the top and at the bottom for sewing. We're going to have like 9 inches, and the fabric we are working with is 10.5 or 10 inches. So there will be allowance for sewing. So these are bra cup. We are using a customized bra cup. I've gone ahead to cut out the wording that we are using, and as I cut out the wording, I immediately marked each side, on the wording, so I'm able to differentiate. Make sure you do this, because if these things get mixed up, it's going to be hard to try to get to fix it together at the right point. So I cut out 4 pieces of part A and 4 pieces of part B, and that's because I'm going to double the wording to form a better bra cup. I'm going to double each part of the wording, and I'm going to be using hemming gum and a pressing iron that steams for this. Though the wording already have a gum, but it's not really going to hold it very well the way I want. So I'm going to be attaching hemming gum before steaming it with my iron. And I did same thing for the other part of the bra cup too. I'm doubling it and I'm adding hemming gum before I will iron to hold it together. So very important. And one thing to note, I didn't add stitching allowance to the bra cup. Okay, there's no stitching allowance. So after putting it together, you're going to be doing a zigzag stitch. That's how you're going to connect the two pieces of the bra cup together. You're going to use a zigzag stitch. If you have a sewing machine that have that, good. But if you do not have, you can use your needle and thread to do it. So this is the part where we are going to be attaching our Modesty panel. So I'm going to place the Modesty panel this way. You can just watch how I'm going about it so you understand better. So at this part of the back of the lining, I placed my Modesty panel 1 inch away from the top and 1 inch away from the bottom. So I placed it on it. And I'm going to place the other piece on it as well. Okay, I'm going just the way I'm doing it right now. You can use your pin to hold it down. Go over to the sewing machine and sew it down at that point. After sewing it, you turn it and then you top stitch. So I've gone ahead to sew it on my sewing machine. You can see it. And I also went ahead to top stitch it to the other part. Yes, the bigger part of the lining. And you can see how beautiful it's looking. So what you do next, you're going to fold in the Modesty panel and use your pin to hold it down. Just fold it the way I'm doing and use a pin to hold it down. Then you go ahead and place your lace on it. You go on and stitch it at the neckline. You stitch it at the two sides. You do the same to the other part of the back pattern as well. So I'm done sewing, and this is how it looks. You can see our Modesty panel and the two parts of our back part of the corset. So the space in between is going to be around 3 inches. That's the opening. Yeah. So I'm going to attach my boning. I'm using the plastic boning, and I went ahead to null the edges using fire. I use fire to null the edges. This is going to prevent it from penetrating into my client's body. So just go ahead and null the edges. I hope you can see that. You see it's no longer sharp. And if you don't use fire, you can also use your masking tape to hold it at the edge. So I've gone ahead to stitch my boning. Sorry, to add my boning. I created 3 boning channels, one at the other side there, the edge there, and then 2 on the inside and the middle part there. So you can see that's the plastic boning, and it's laying so flat. That's because I also gave it a good press to straighten it up before putting it into the boning channels. So this is my front pattern where I'm going to be attaching the illusion net. I went ahead to divide this front pattern into 2, but I'm not going to advise you to do that, because while stitching I noticed that it became difficult. My mesh at the edge at the V point was not relaxing very well. So please don't divide the front pattern into 2. Just leave it that way and place the mesh on it and just sew it down, because at the end I'm still going to pipe that edge, so there was no need to even cut it in the first place. So after sewing, I'm going to be attaching the 2 sides of the front pattern to it this way. Just like that. So I'll go over to my sewing machine, and before that I've gone ahead to gum my bra cups together. You can see how lovely it's looking. So the next thing is to stitch it. If you have a zigzag machine, go on and stitch it using your zigzag machine. You're going to be adding it, holding it together the way I'm doing. Like, let the 2 cups, the 2 pieces, let them kiss each other. You know, like, just like how I'm doing it right now. If you're going to use your needle and thread, just follow the procedure I'm using. You can see how it is, just that way. Don't let it not overlap on each other. Let it not overlap. And if you want to do that, fine, but this is the method I'm using for now. I want it to kiss each other while I use my needle and thread to stitch. You can watch the way I'm doing it and follow likewise. And at this point, please, if you are yet to subscribe to my channel, you've learned from this video to this point, please subscribe to the channel, like, and tell us how you feel about it. Is there a video recommendation, tutorial recommendation you want us to do? Let us know, okay? Thank you. Also, you can see how the bra cup is forming, right? You can see how it's coming out nicely. So just at the edge there, go ahead and secure it properly. And there we have our bra cup for both sides of the breast. You can see how lovely it's looking already. I have to use a contrasting thread so that you can see what I'm doing. And remember, I didn't add sewing allowance to the bra cups, to the pieces. So yes, you can see it very well now. So I went ahead to do this is a mini kind of plate on the bra cup. And I pleated it, and this is a front pattern. I already went ahead to stitch the mesh to it, and then I placed the lace on the satin fabric. So before placing the lace, I also went ahead to attach my boning. After attaching the boning, I now placed the lace and use hemming gum to stitch it to the fabric, to the corset. So I'll go on and attach my bra cups to the front pattern. Just that way. I'm going to be attaching the bra cups, and also I have attached my eyelets. You can see there I've added the eyelets to the back corset, the back part of the corset. And then this is the lining for the bra cup. Okay, to have that neat finishing on the inside, I went ahead to cut out the lining, and then I added 1/2 inch sewing allowance all round. So I'll go on and attach it together at the sides, the front part of that curve there, before adding it to my lining, using it to turn the bra cup. So I've done that, and this is how it looks on the inside. I've gone ahead to use my doll face satin to pipe the corset, the bra cup, through the mesh, just to define that plunging, that deep V neckline. And I'm also going to do same thing with the other side. I use a doll face satin here, but you can also use your bias strip. And this is how our corset look at the back. This is a back view. This is how it looks. So I've gone ahead to attach that strand to the other part of the bra cup as well. And you can see how defined our deep V shape is. So I'm going to go ahead and attach these stones. I'm going to be beading on some parts of the bra cup, and also I'm going to be attaching these stones. I have these stones in green. Those are claw stones in green and in gold. And then the beads, I have a bigger size, both in different shades of green, and then the smaller size. I'm going to be beading some parts of the corset as well. Then for the stones, I'm using my E7000 to attach the stones to the deep V part of this corset. While for the beads, I'm going to be attaching it somewhere around the bra cup. I have my invincible thread. I have a thread that is the color of the fabric we are using. So I'm going to use either of these threads that I'm comfortable with. And this is our beading in progress. So guys, thank you so much for watching this far. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe to the channel for more interesting tutorials. Thank you. And this is how our bead look, and the stone so beautiful. God bless you.